You spent the whole day at home, didn't really do anything special. Maybe you just laid on the couch, scrolled your phone, got up once or twice for water or a snack, and by night, you feel like you spent the day hauling bricks. Your head feels heavy, your body feels like it's made of sand, and all you want is to lie down and not move. And then this weird thought hits you. I didn't even do anything today. So why am I this exhausted? If you've ever caught yourself thinking that, this video is for you. Because that exhaustion almost never comes from laziness. It comes from somewhere much deeper. And once you see what's actually going on, a lot of things in your life are going to start making sense. Let's start with a simple observation. A lazy day at home is supposed to recharge you. The logic seems obvious. Less movement, fewer tasks, less stress, so more energy by the evening. But in real life, it usually goes the other way. You go to bed just as tired, sometimes even more drained than after a full workday, packed with meetings and deadlines. The rest didn't restore you, it wiped you out. And if your first guess is that it's just lack of sleep or some physical issue, maybe that's part of it. But most of the time, the real answer is somewhere else entirely. It's about what your brain was actually doing while your body was doing nothing. Here's the thing, your brain physically cannot just switch off. Even when there's nothing for it to do on the outside, there's a whole factory of thoughts running on the inside. Psychologists call this mental rumination. Basically, your mind chewing on the same thing over and over without ever reaching a conclusion. That conversation that went sideways last week, the meeting tomorrow that you're already dreading, what your coworker probably thinks of you, that thing you keep meaning to do and still haven't. These thoughts loop endlessly, never landing anywhere, just quietly burning fuel in the background. Research in psychology has shown again and again that a wandering mind, especially one stuck on worry about the past or the future, uses up a huge amount of mental energy without producing anything useful at all. It's like leaving your car running in the driveway all day. The engine's working, gas is burning, and the car never actually goes anywhere. From the outside, it just looks like you're resting. On the inside, there's real exhausting work happening the whole time. And here's the part that makes it sneaky. This kind of work is invisible, even to you. There's no task finished, no result, nothing to point to. All you're left with is a vague sense of tiredness by the end of the day that you can't quite explain. So it's easy to assume the problem is laziness. In reality, your brain spent the whole day reprocessing the same raw material without ever turning it into anything. Here's a historical example that explains this really well. Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister during World War II, famously slept only about 4 or 5 hours a night. He ran an entire country through one of the darkest periods in its history, making decisions that thousands of lives depended on, spending most of his time buried in bunkers and war rooms. You'd expect someone under that kind of pressure to be completely burned out within months, but by most accounts from people who knew him, that's not what happened. The secret wasn't the amount of sleep. The secret was what he filled the gaps with. Churchill never just rested in emptiness. Between meetings, he'd pick up a paintbrush and paint landscapes, something he genuinely loved his whole life. In his free hours, he'd personally lay bricks, building a wall on his estate with his own hands. Yes, the wartime prime minister of a country fighting for survival spent his downtime literally working as a bricklayer. It sounds almost ridiculous for someone carrying that level of responsibility, but that's exactly what kept him going. He switched his focus instead of switching off completely. Sitting around with nothing to direct his mind toward probably would have broken him faster than the bombs falling on London. Changing activities, painting, laying bricks, reading, gave his brain a real reset through a shift in focus, not through staring into a void. That's an idea worth holding on to, because we're coming back to it. Now back to you and your couch. Chances are your version of resting didn't look like painting or bricklaying. It looked like scrolling your phone. And that's where the second trap is hiding. When you scroll social media, your brain gets dozens of tiny hits of stimulation every minute. A funny video, someone's photo, a headline, another video, another headline. Each one gives your brain's reward system a little tickle, but none of them go anywhere deep enough to actually satisfy anything. It's basically like eating potato chips all day instead of real food. There are calories in there somewhere, but you never feel full. And an hour later, you're hungry again. That's exactly what's happening with your attention. Plenty of stimulation, zero real rest. By the evening, you're not just tired, you're starving. Starving for the kind of deep, real focus your brain never got all day. So you end up with this strange feeling, like you spent the whole day lying around, but somehow you feel worse, more irritated, more empty, instead of recharged. There's another piece worth mentioning. Constant small jumps in attention train your brain to expect a new hit of stimulation every few seconds. So when there's suddenly nothing, say you put your phone down and just sit there, you get this restless itch, an urge to check something, anything. That's not weakness. It's a predictable reaction from a system that spent all day getting fed one tiny dose after another. There's a third source of exhaustion that we rarely notice. While you were doing nothing, there's a good chance something else was running in the background, what we can call your inner critic. That quiet voice saying things like, "You wasted another day. Other people are out there getting things done while you're lying here. Tomorrow's going to be even harder because you fell behind today." That constant background hum of shame and self-judgment is also work, and it's surprisingly costly. Emotions you push down and never deal with don't just disappear because you didn't say them out loud. Your nervous system treats ongoing internal tension almost like an actual threat and keeps your body on a low simmer of stress all day long. And any kind of stress, even quiet background stress you're barely aware of, drains real resources from your body. This creates a loop. You feel tired, so you blame yourself for not doing anything. That creates more internal tension, and the tension drains even more energy. With less energy, tomorrow becomes another lazy day, and the cycle repeats. A lot of people live inside this loop for months without realizing it's not laziness doing this, it's the loop itself. There's one more piece, and it's purely physical. Your body relies on signals to figure out what's actually going on around it. No real movement means your body can't register that an active day happened. No real mental effort of the right kind means your brain doesn't get tired in the way that leads to deep, solid sleep. So you end up confused on a biological level, emotionally drained, but never given the kind of clear workload that earns an easy night's sleep. That's why sleep on days like this often feels broken and shallow, and morning shows up with that same foggy, heavy feeling you went to bed with. The good news is getting out of this doesn't take some heroic effort. You don't need to become Churchill and run a country through a war to stop burning out from doing nothing. There are a few simple things that genuinely work, and you can start tomorrow. First, try spending the first hour after you wake up without a screen. Don't reach for your phone the second your eyes open. Just let your brain wake up on its own terms before flooding it with everyone else's news and everyone else's lives. Sounds small, but that first hour often sets the tone for your entire day. Second, pick one simple task with a clear ending and finish it sometime during the day. It doesn't need to be impressive. Wash the dishes, clean out one drawer, walk to the store instead of driving. The size doesn't matter. What matters is that finished feeling. Your brain needs to register that something got started and actually got completed. Third, swap endless scrolling for something with actual shape and focus to it. A book, a walk outside, cleaning the house, cooking dinner, calling a friend. The rule is simple. One thing at a time, one focus, no phone running in the background while you're doing it. And fourth, maybe the most important one, understand that real rest is a change of activity, not a hole in your schedule. It's not emptiness you fall into for an entire day. It's switching from one kind of activity to another. That's how Churchill rested. That's basically what modern psychologists recommend too. And that's exactly why changing what you're doing almost always works better than doing absolutely nothing. You can take this further and ask yourself one quick question at the end of the day. What actually drained me today? Real tasks or the thoughts running in my head? Over time, that question helps you notice the invisible background noise of worry and self-criticism we talked about earlier. And once you can see it, it gets a lot easier to just tell yourself you're done for the day and switch to something calmer. So if tonight you end up feeling wiped out after what looked like an empty day, don't be quick to call yourself lazy. You weren't lazy. Your brain was working in the background the entire time, chewing on anxious thoughts, chasing tiny hits of stimulation on your phone, and quietly judging you for not doing anything. That's a massive amount of hidden work. It just doesn't leave any visible proof behind, the way cleaning your apartment or hitting the gym would. Turn down that background noise. Pick one focus instead of 10 scattered thoughts. Give your brain real rest through a change of activity instead of empty time. and your energy will start coming back on its own without you having to force it. If this topic hit home for you, if you recognized even a piece of yourself in this video, I've got a Telegram channel where I go even deeper into stuff like this. No fluff, just real explanations. Come check it out. I think you'll find it useful. One last thing, and it matters. If this exhaustion and lack of energy stick around for weeks, especially if it comes with constant sadness, losing interest in things you used to enjoy, or a sense that something is genuinely wrong, this video isn't a substitute for real support. In that case, the best move is reaching out to a therapist or a doctor. Taking care of yourself like that isn't weakness. It's one of the most grown-up things you can do.